Hey friends, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts, and I've got some exciting news. So if you've been keeping up with my blog, TLYCblog.com, you know that I've been working on a temperature blanket for 2019. So I'm working mine in Tunisian Crochet, and I'm actually working it in strips. And this first strip is done, and look! We started adding our second strip. I'm so excited. So I thought this might be a perfect time to make a video tutorial and show you exactly how to add panels onto Tunisian Crochet as you go. So it starts down here with your chain, and then with each row that you make, you attach it to the panel previous. So I'm going to get my stuff together and we're going to jump into this tutorial. Here I have just a bit of a Tunisian crochet swatch that I completed. It's just 10 stitches by 10 rows, and then I bound off with a slip stitch. Now what I have marked here is the last chain of the starting chain 10, and I marked that because that's actually where we're going to join our new color to start joining our second panel. So I'm just going to drop this marker out. And as you can see, what I marked is that chain. So these two loops are our first row, and then underneath it, these two loops are the starting chain. So I'm just going to grab my hook and I'm going to insert under those two loops. And I'm going to pull up my new color. So I've got this pretty kind of aqua blue. I'm going to yarn over, join with a slip stitch, just like this. And then I'm going to chain however many I want to. So I'm going to put like 8 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And now I'm going to work my foundation just like I would if I was doing just an individual panel. So I'm going to flip over to the back bumps of this chain and insert under the second chain for my hook, yarn over, and pull up the loop. And I'm going to do that for each chain across. And now I've pulled up loops in all of my chains, and at this point I want to join to my first panel. So if you look at your work, this is the first row. These two loops indicate the first row of my first panel. If you flip it towards the back, there's an additional loop behind that second loop. So if we think about this like traditional crochet, this is our front loop, our back loop, and then our third loop. So we're going to insert our hook between our front and back loop, so through the back loop and then through that third loop as well. And that's going to help us anchor this second panel to the first panel. So I'm just using my fingertip here to get my hook under there, yarn over, and I'm pulling up that loop. Since we're joining panels, I'm not going to chain 1 here. Instead, I'm just going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way back for my return pass. And that's how you do that first row of your second panel. So let's do that again together. We're going to pull up loops just for Tunisian simple stitch. That's what we're doing here, but you can pretty much do this technique with any stitch that you want. So I'm pulling up my loops. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For my 8th stitch, I'm going to join. So again, here's my front loop, my back loop, and my third loop. I'm inserting through my back loop and my third loop, yarning over and pulling up the loop for my 8th stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2 all the way back. We're going to do that one more time together, and then I'm going to show you how to bind off. So again, I'm pulling up loops for Tunisian simple stitch across. And you might have seen some different tutorial videos that encourage you to pull up loops through your front and back loops, just through the front loop. I like to do it this way because you maintain that vertical bar like you do for the rest of your project. I just think it looks a lot cleaner this way. So again, we're going to insert through the back loop and the third loop, yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over and pull through 2 all the way back. So keep going, and then I'm going to show you how to bind off. Here I'm at my last row and I just need to complete my return pass. So I'm yarning over and pulling through 2 until I have just 1 loop left on my hook, and then I'll be ready for my bind off. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch bind off here. So I'm going to insert into that next vertical bar, yarn over and pull through both loops. And I like to do my slip stitch bind offs fairly loose just to give myself the opportunity to put on a border or even just to keep the top looking nice and neat. So insert, yarning over and pulling through both. Insert, yarn over and pull through both. So now we're ready to join to our first panel, and I'm going to put a slip stitch in the first slip stitch of the bind off from the previous row. So I'm going to just insert into the back loop of that slip stitch, yarn over and pull through both to complete. And at this point I would cut that yarn, weave in that end, and that is how you join 2 panels of Tunisian crochet as you go. So that's it for the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, but if you want to stick around for a second, I'm actually about to put another row on my temperature blanket, and I would love for you to hang out and watch that too.